Breaking news, Russia and a lot of our other enemies are looking to exploit the divide in American society. A Russian lawmaker openly called for Moscow to exploit the political divide in America and says civil war is coming to the United States. Former KGB officer Andriy Lugovoy, appearing on Russian state TV, said Republicans and Democrats are using political repressions against each other and that the Kremlin should take advantage of the chaos. He urged Russia to interfere directly, claiming Moscow should buy journalists and politicians, plant people inside the U.S. system, and push America toward full political shutdown, as if we haven't reached that already in other countries, or country hasn't already done that. This guy, Lugovoy, wanted in the UK for radioactive poisoning of ex-spy Alexander Levenko. He mocked Donald Trump as dumb and said he says whatever pops into his head. His comments highlight how Russia's propaganda machine continues to weaponize U.S. polarization for its own gain, framing internal divisions in America as proof that Western democracy is crumbling. Story developing. Breaking.
Shalom, shalom, Yisrael. Start by giving all glory, honor, and praises unto YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, HaKadosh. Double honors to the elders and apostles, a great millstone, and teaching them well. Peace and salutations be to those who elect. But that tells you I'm coming at you from the province of Babylon, camping in Tampa, Florida. This lesson's going to be going into a Russian MP. Russia says, this is Russian MP Andriy Lugovoy, a former KGB officer wanted for the Litvinenko poisoning, just said civil war is coming to America and urged the Kremlin to exploit U.S. divisions. He told Russian state TV that Moscow should buy journalists, plant people in U.S. politics, and drive the country to a political shutdown. Lugovoy also mocked Trump as dumb and saying whatever pops into his head. All right. So you got these other countries that's watching America from the outside in, and they can see that America's entering into a civil war, if not is already in it. Okay, right now we're in a government shutdown, and people are losing their jobs, and they're losing their jobs and their ability to feed their families, all right, and pay their bills because of this government shutdown. And this government shutdown is because of political feuds. Okay, a feud between the Republicans and the so-called Democrats. All right, which the whole point of that is the Democrats want to resume funding for immigrants for health care, but the Republicans don't want to pass this bill. And the Democrats, the majority of the Democrats voted against it. That voted against, I guess, taking the health care away from the immigrants. And what Trump wants to do is he wants the Democrats to yield before he opens the government back up. So they have to come up with a plan to, they got to come up with a plan to make the Democrats yield. One side's going to have to yield. One side's going to have to admit defeat. Okay? But until then, the government's going to be shut down. All right? And you see these people coming on TikTok and social medias making videos. It's lucky about losing their jobs, all right, and losing their funding. Food stamp, they're probably gonna start to feel that food stamps come into effect pretty soon. All right, seeing that this is the longest time we've had the government shut down, you know, for a very long time, man. Okay, it says, well, that's not on that. I'll post a video in the intro so you can see what was said in detail. But I want to grab this. And the spirit has been heavy on this scripture here. All right, the spirit has been very heavy on this scripture. So I bring it out every time. You know, almost every lesson we're going into prophecy, I have to bring this out because this is just what we're seeing right now. Okay, and if you got any question in your mind, are we in the end? Scriptures are literally describing the time we're living in now. Okay, so it says, the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15 and verse 15 in the GNT. The war that will bring their destruction is very near. Nations will arm themselves and fight against other nations. Okay, so this whole world is really in trouble. Everybody's at conflict with each other. All these nations are at conflict with each other. But the nation said to have the most stability and protection. America is starting to crumble from the inside out. It says there will be great political turmoil. All right, so there's great political turmoil going on. Let's grab the definition of turmoil. Definition of turmoil says a state of great disturbance, confusion, or uncertainty. All right, like the scripture saying, 2nd Ezra, confusion gonna be going out in many different places. Okay, this country in itself is confused. They're at a war within themselves. Two wings of the same bird. One decides not to flap, and the other is flapping. That's confusion. Okay, this country is not whole. It's not one anymore. It's not moving one-minded. They want to do one world religion, one world government, one world currency, but they can't even be in the same mind, be in one mind with each other. They can't be in agreement. All right, so this country is in disagreement with itself. Okay, that's what's causing it to split down the middle. It's causing it to be divided. What does it mean to be in turmoil? To be in turmoil means to be in a state of confusion, disorder, or great anxiety, often accompanied by a feeling of agitation or disturbance. It describes a condition of intense and often conflicting emotions or chaotic, unpredictable situations, whether they are personal, political, or economic. So that's what's going on now. We having political turmoil, which is confusion and disorder. All right. It says confusion and disorder says a lack of clarity, organization, or predictable patterns. At this point, you can't predict what's going to happen next with this country, man. All right? One side trying to predict the other. One side trying to destroy the other and take rule over the country. All right? That has gotten out of control. It's gotten out of hand. Okay? So I'm talking about sending the troops into the blue states. Okay? You're waging war on your own people, whether they be blue states or red states. All right? These guys are the real gangs. They're the real Bloods and Crips. Okay? It says there will be great political turmoil with one group trying to overpower another and gain control. So here it is. You got the Democrats trying to overpower the Republicans and vice versa to gain control over the country, to make their laws be passable. All right? So that the country can be run the way they want it to be run. All right, so this country hasn't been in the same mind for a very long time, but now you're seeing the signs of that coming to an end. Okay, scriptures say, endings and signs and effects. So we're seeing the signs and effects of that division coming to an end. This country is about to devour itself. Okay, while ignoring the legitimate government. They're ignoring the legitimate government here. They're ignoring the actual laws. That's why they was asking Trump in the video, don't you have to give them back pay? Doesn't the law say you got to give them back pay when they come back into to work, when the government opens back up? Don't you have to give them the back pay for the checks that they didn't get paid while being in the government shutdown? And Trump said, "Oh, we're gonna pay them back." He say, "But there's people that don't deserve to be paid, so we're gonna pay back the people that deserve to be paid, and as for the people that don't deserve it, we're gonna pay them in other ways." Okay, so he's ignoring the legitimate government. He's ignoring the actual laws and statutes set in place of the country, and starting to take actions into his own hands. Okay, and the Republicans are all for it. These people are seeking to devour each other in the same country, not realizing that these other countries are aiming their nukes over here. They don't even realize that they're in great danger. That's why it said the war that will bring their destruction is very near. The Lord is easing up on them. They don't even see him coming, like a thief in the night. They're too busy trying to go against the other wing that's on the same bird. Here it is. They're all in the same country, but they're all divided. You got a Republican living in one house and a Democrat next door. Then a Republican after that and a Democrat after that. All right, so these people are going to band up together. What kind of American are you? That's why I advise you brothers watch that Civil War movie that came out last year. With the actor that played Mary Jane in the original Spider-Man. All right, because it shows you what happened in the Civil War, how this guy was like, what kind of American are you? We said, please don't shoot us, we're Americans. He said, okay, but what kind of American are you? Because just being an American ain't gonna get you by in the times we're coming into in a Civil War. Okay, that's what Civil War is all about. A division in America. A war within America, within its own people. Some people agree, some people don't agree to these laws and bills that Trump's passing. And that's going to bring much death and destruction, many riots and uproars. There will no longer be free access to the cities, because the struggle for power will bring destruction, terror, and total confusion wherever people live. These cities going to get shut down. All right, Trump about to go that far. He already moving into Illinois. He already moving into Texas. He already moving to all these different states, moving his troops in all these different states. Okay, and moving ICE into all these different states. And they're getting busy. There's been reports of the police and the ICE having a war against each other, fighting against each other. Okay. Apparently the ICE agents was beating the police ass. And then they got many uproars going on in these cities, but the people coming out in videos saying that they're covering it up. They're not showing what's happening. They're not putting it, letting it go up to the media, pretty much. So it's gonna get to a point where this devil gonna start shutting down the internet. All right. Monitoring what you're posting heavily. You just had them ban the apple juice box emoji, because these people were using an apple juice to talk about the small hats. Okay, because it sounds like the way the word juice sounds. You know, if you just extend the ooh, you get what I'm saying? It says, driven by famine and terrible suffering, people will assault their neighbors and mercilessly plunder their possessions. It's going to get to that point. All right, and we're seeing the beginning of these things, the beginning of sorrows. We're seeing the beginning of a war take place. Okay, we are already in a war. Well, we're already in World War III. It's going to be that's why we brought it out. A few verses ago, the war that will destroy them, the war that will bring their destruction is very near, and it's already here. Okay, that's why the food prices are going up. The cost of living is skyrocketing. All right, Your rights are being taken away from you. This devil's coming down, having no mercy, like Revelations 12:12 will tell you. Let's grab it. Revelations 12:12 in the GNT. And so be glad, you heavens, and all you that live there. But how terrible for the earth and the sea, for the devil has come down to you, and he is filled with rage, because he knows that he has only a little time left. This devil know he running out of time. He got to get things in order, and this country ain't trying to get in order with it. He trying to set his country in order, okay, so he can bring the NWO. But he keep running into roadblocks. The governments of these blue states halting him from passing laws there, trying to sue him for passing laws there and asserting his dominance in these states. They trying to sue him for it. Okay. I think the governor of Chicago and a governor of another state that I do not recall right now, trying to take Trump to court for sending a National Guard into their state, into their land, into their boundaries. And they said they don't want that. All right. Still brought government shutdown. Okay, so hey, this shit's getting heated up, and it's only getting it's only up from here, man. Stay prayed up and continue to watch for the prophecies, because things are getting very vivid. I should say things are getting very vivid. There's no more denying the scriptures. It's in our face now. The scriptures are standing up off the book and talking. All right. Hope that I truly hope this lesson was edifying to you. I'll keep not wealth, listen in truth and sincerity. Until next time, inshallah, I give all glory, honor, praises unto YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, Shalom.